It's been interesting because not only am I absorbing new information, but I am purposefully absorbing books and listening to other things. Like, I feel like just because I've dived into books, I'm also like finding new people to follow and starting new connections. Like, it's rubbed off on so many different areas, not just in this one place. But what's interesting is I have read what I need, like, in the moment. And then the thing I'm starting to get to now is I'm reading what I need in the moment, but I'm also trying not to validate my idea.
Okay.
So it's really easy to pick up books that push you in the direction you already wanted to go.
Yes.
And so instead, I'm trying to pick books, not that they're like the antithesis of where I want to go, because I also like fill your mind with things that are going to be helpful to you. But can you
give
find
an example?
Yeah, so I just read a whole book on build to sell and like designing your business around being sellable. And then one of the books I added, and I'm like, I'm still not sure I'm going to read it because I can't decide if it's like too far the other direction for me.
Gotcha.
But I put it on my list. I'm going to pull it up. I got
Well,
your good.
It's the same concept of like learning strategies from businesses who aren't in your industry. Like, it's not that what they're doing is wrong or bad, but what can you take to pivot or inspire you for different ideas and think outside the box for your own scenario?
Yeah. So the book that I'm thinking about. It's not the antithesis by any means, but it's definitely an alternative thought. It's called REWORK, and it's by the co-founders of BaseCamp. And
Which we don't.
I literally hate BaseCamp. But I don't, it's not that I hate the founders by any means. I just
don't know them, so.
I don't know them. I know nothing about them. I've just logged into the product and wanted to poke my eyeballs out. So I'm like, will their thoughts also maybe? I'm not sure. But the interesting thing is, okay, so build to sell, just as an example, is all around productizing your offer and creating something that's really systematic and programmatic, and definitely in line with how I think literally all the time anyway, because I'm operation focused. But rework is basically about like not always making a plan and like working in the moment and like being speedy.
I think you should read it just to give us the synopsis, because I'm very confused, because it's their own business, their own book description is a little bit of a paradox, because they say you don't need to be a workaholic, but then it says what you really need to do is stop talking and start working.
I literally have so many opinions about this book and I haven't even started it, but I'm also like intrigued by it. I just it's one of the few that I picked up that I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I want to absorb it a little. Like, I'm getting to the point where I'm fast enough where I'm like,
you're very curious.
I'm just curious now.
I think you should do it, and then come to our next episode or in a couple episodes and give us the rundown.
Yeah. So, but I just think that's interesting that I'm actually to the point where I'm absorbing enough information that, because it's not like reading a blog post or listening to a podcast where you hear one thought and then you go search out the opposite, and we're talking about 20 minutes of your time. Like, we're talking about devoting a day or a weekend or a week to like absorb a new thought and idea and then decide whether you want to do something about it or not. Because I think if you're going to go through the process of absorbing new information, like, I want it to be for a reason. Like, and maybe that's a problem with my thought that you can't, because that just means, can you ever really read for pleasure? I don't know, but
I do.
No, I know you do, but I'm saying, like, if you think you have to do something about everything you read, does that mean you can read for pleasure?
Oh, I mean, yeah, because if you're reading about murder, I don't want to go kill someone.
Well, I mean, I would hope not, but if I were ever in a situation, I would just say Emily would be who I would call.
You definitely call me. I started a new podcast that's really helpful and taught me lots of things.